Welcome to Fika's Focus. Voices leading change.
Okay, welcome back to Fill the Gap, the voice where we are out there supporting the sector. This is Sammy Hansen. Sammy is our engagement piece. Yes. How are you, Sammy?
I'm good.
We're talking about our the kind of whakaaro, the thinking behind our engagement and what we're doing through the various sources. So why don't you have a chat to us about the multiple sources we use for engagement?
Okay, so I feel like it's grown a lot in the last sort of 6 months. I started out just heading around the centres every day before Livingston opened and just capturing what was going on in the classroom, posting on Instagram and Facebook. But since then, we've grown to releasing a monthly newsletter for our whānau, for the whole Future Focus whānau, not just individual centres. And now, obviously, we're doing this podcast, posting these on YouTube and Spotify, sort of just using all the platforms we can.
Yeah, I want to talk to us about our engagement through social media. So we use that as a digital diary for capturing the daily events and capturing actually the brilliance of our teachers. What does it look like when you go into a centre? What are you looking out for?
So the way I've always looked at it is if I had a child in the centre, I walk in and I'm like, what would I want to see if my child was here throughout the day? What interactions would I want to be seeing between like child to child, teacher to child? But generally I go in there after having a conversation with the teachers and set a time to go in and capture any experiences they might have planned. Although most of the time, to be honest, I walk in and it's just all spontaneous. Like there's just so much going on everywhere that I can just pick a section of the centre and I can usually capture something great.
When you go in and focus on there, we've made a particular point of focusing on teacher interaction. Yes. Because we're purely trying to show the relationships that our kaiako build. When you get through, so you've just explained about getting in, what would I like to see if I was a parent, blah, blah, blah. What is it like to go in and just be present so you're capturing the beauty or the essence of the interaction?
I love it, honestly. Like I was saying yesterday to our teams, like I just feel so grateful to be able to go in and we joke about being the creep in the background, but I really do just get to sit there and soak in everything that's happening. And I think because the day is so busy, people can miss that. And so being right up there, like sitting on the floor with the kids and the teachers, I can really get up close and you can see like the facial expressions, just their movement, like it's not just looking from afar.
I think we're doing a great job of telling stories, and that's what really drives us, is that storytelling aspect. What are some of the stories we try to tell?
Oh, a good example right now, we've got an amazing kaiako Holly down at the Boulevard. She's currently on her practicum, and she's super passionate about Te Reo, and she's teaching this throughout her practice every day. Like she's currently doing a bit of a book inquiry on a story, and she teaches that through provocation and storytelling. She recorded an audiobook for the kids to listen to. They've gone on excursions to the beach to pick their shells for their provocation. So just showing the progression of learning.
Yes, and actually I saw the clip of Taru pointing out to her about the sea, and I saw him doing this. It was on their story. Yeah. I think he was referring to either the whale or something of that ilk, and I could hear the excitement in Holly's voice at that. So that's an important point. You're talking about the linear progression. Mm-hmm. That's the storytelling there. And I think it's important for us to say that we know that if parents could stay at home and be with their children, they would. Yeah. We know and acknowledge that. However, they don't get to at the moment because they're off either building their own careers, earning incomes to support their future and things like that. So we see it as a complete responsibility for us to tell the story of their child's day so that when they are at work, they can open into Instagram or whatever it is, the medium that they're using, and actually see their child having a blast, doing experiences that they would love to be doing with their children, but the next best thing is that we get to do it with them. It's important we capture that.
Yeah, 100%.
What about in terms of, we've obviously introduced this podcast. What are you seeing in that space? I mean, if you go to the first one to now, but what sort of development and growth are you seeing in that space?
I think now that our guests, our teachers, whoever it may be, that are coming on the podcast, are starting to feel a lot more comfortable, for one, because they've seen other people do it. And people were actually like, hey, can I jump on and talk about this? I'm super passionate. I had a conversation with a parent or someone in the community and they were asking me about it and I want to share it. So I think, they're just really picking up on the fact that getting on this podcast is what's going to eventually help the sector get the recognition that it deserves.
And when we are picking a teacher out to, we've been really fortunate. All our guests have been amazing. What are some of the themes that you're hearing from those teachers that we are sharing in the space of engagement?
Yeah, so they're just extremely passionate. We've had people, mainly I think the biggest theme we've had lately is school readiness.
Yes.
I think we're super passionate about just showing that kids coming to daycare, it's not daycare. They're not coming here to just play around all day. They do play.
Yes.
But our teachers are educators. They're not here to...
There's structure in there.
Yeah, there's structure in the day. So just sharing that with parents and community so that they can understand that we are getting these kids ready for school and for life.
And in the background, it's exciting for us when we get new followers, right?
Yeah, it is.
I know it's a small metric, but when we get one follower on it, how many subscribers on Spotify? 30 or something?
43.
Yeah, 43. That is one person that we get to reach out to show that we are contributing to the growth of the sector, not just adding to the woes of the sector.
Yeah.
It's quite an important piece for that. But the last piece, just to close the circle on that, where else do you think we should be heading?
Do you mean in terms of platforms?
Or engagement?
I would like to see more, within Future Focus, I'd like to see more whole Future Focus events going on, because I think everybody does know that the centres are connected.
Yes.
We're not just Livingston operates here and Pat Beach operates here. We all get together every week. So I think we had some cool ideas around maybe a sports exchange, a whole Future Focus Christmas evening, not just a Livingston
Matariki
Boulevard, bringing everybody together and just showing that it really is one big community. And, maybe that'll show parents that they can reach out to other parents around Papamoa and connect.
And that's quite important for us, because what we know and recognise is that Papamoa is largely new families coming in from areas, so they don't have a lot of existing families. Yeah. And actually the connection between and the engagement between centres is quite critical for people meeting other whānau, so that they know they can go and have a beer with someone or go and have some dinner, or especially mums, if they've got new babies and they're coming through this phase and they can go and connect with other mums. We really are trying to put importance on that. So I think that engagement piece, I agree with you. I also think seeing more seminars, seeing more workshops.
Aunties workshops.
We had our business one at the start of the year. We've kind of lost momentum on that. That was actually a very cool night. But I think those are some of the spaces where we can continually innovate and be creative in that and really increase value for families. Okay, cool. I think it's a nice little snippet of what we're trying to do. We appreciate you, Sammy. We appreciate all the work you do. You're self-taught, but you're very driven in that space, and we really appreciate all your mahi. This is Fill the Gap.
Thank you.